Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Bumper here, back tonight with another episode of the 39, which is the series I'm doing with Trev over at Double Bill Movies, where we're watching the 39 video nasties. We're more than halfway through, but we're halfway through the alphabet. We're on the H's, so that means the next movie that we're going to review is The House by the Cemetery. Okay, so I got this amazing version by Blue Underground. I know Arrow have recently released it as a collector's edition on 4K. I'm not sure what one Trev watched. I know he's got this one, but I think he picked the Arrow one up as well. So hopefully he'll say on his notes. I haven't looked at his note check because I don't like to sway my own opinion. But he may say on his notes which one he watched. So anyway, this is by Blue Underground. Obviously, the guy who owns Blue Underground is Bill Lustig. And he directed loads of his own films in the 80s, like Maniac Cop 1, 2 and 3, Vigilante, what's that one with the guys on the front? Your Country Needs You. I can't think what that one's called. But anyway, so he's deep in the game anyway, and they do some of the best 4Ks Blue Underground. You think something like Arrow and Vinegar Syndrome, where they got so much more money and what's the word I'm looking for? Like maybe better tools at their disposal. But somehow Blue Underground, every time they release one, is just on another level, and this one's no exception. So I haven't bought the Arrow one because this one, believe it or not, has got Dolby Atmos and the other one hasn't from Arrow. Although I did inquire with John Mondo-Chalavec, and he said the picture on the Arrow one was maybe a little bit sharper, but obviously I don't think I'm going to double dip because this one's got the Dolby Atmos. Although if they release the Beyond as well, it might look a bit silly having two Arrow limited editions and this one, so then I may double dip or sell this one on, I don't know. Anyway, I'm waffling a bit, this is not what the video's about. So House by the Cemetary, a 1981 movie by the absolute legend Lucio Fulci, God bless his soul. Part of the Gates of Hell trilogy. This is the third movie, the second one being Beyond and the first one being The City of the Living Dead. So all awesome. And we'll jump into this one now then. So I'm going to start off with Trev's notes. I've got my laptop by here, so I'm sorry if you see me looking over, but I'll miss something if I have to try and remember it. All right then, so we'll start off with Trev then. He's giving this bit of an overview first. This is my third time watching Lucio Fulci. I think it's probably my third time as well, so that's ironic. And for me, it gets better each time. Right? So I'm glad he said that, because I had a feeling in my wards that Trev wasn't going to enjoy this movie for some reason. And I won't spoil it, but I did enjoy it. So I'm glad I'm reading this so far. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but for mine and Bumper series of the 39, of course, I didn't mind watching it again. Well, it actually says it gets a bit better every time, so it doesn't say it gets better each time, a bit better each time. Yeah, that does make a difference, that word, really. All right, so does it feel like watching a video nasty? Chaz simply put, no. All right, so I don't know. Thing with these Fulci movies is the first thing to know before you step into these films is these are like fever dream movies, so they've got this sort of foreboding atmosphere of just impending dread. It's not what you see, it's just kind of like the smoky satin and yeah, just like the grain and everything, I suppose. But they don't look flushed, you know what I mean? They have got this sort of hint of like dreamscape sort of thing to it. So I can see why he said it doesn't feel like a video nasty, because I suppose it doesn't really. It's got a lovely aesthetic. Well, I think it's got a lovely aesthetic anyway. Should it be a video nasty? Tez put, no, not at all. It's just a horror film. Maybe the combination of a young boy having to see quite a bit of gore later in the film and two of the kills of the women might be why it is a video nasty. Okay, so I'm going to say it does feel like a video nasty because Trevor's alluded to the gore there. And the thing you've got to understand about Fulci is, like, where other directors will cut away or they will give you like fast cut edits of the violence, you know, Fulci doesn't. He just lets the camera linger, and he lets it linger for too long. And I tell you, there's one killing in this with a fire poker, and he's the guy, like the bad guy, and he's killing this woman, stabbing her, and you think, oh, like, that's enough now. And like, oh my god, it goes on, and he puts it through her neck like this, like he pulls it really slow, and all the and like I said, it just lingers for way too long, but that's why I love it. So there's that kill, and then there's the throat cut of the babysitter. It's like it's not like visceral in the sense like they really deep cuts. It's quite scratchy, like as if you were doing it with a bread knife, I suppose. But like I said, it just lingers. It's just cut after cut after cut after cut after cut. And then obviously you've got your other sort of Fulci gore that he's famous for, your sort of browny, maggoty, wormy kind of gloopiness that like erodes from the zombies and finds its way on the floor and stuff. There's plenty of that in it as well. So he doesn't think it should be a video nasty. I can kind of see why it was, I gotta be honest, because it is quite mean when it needs to be, even if the overall aesthetic of the film is more dreamlike. Should modern day horror fans check it out? Yes, there's some great gore effects and it's a Fulci film. Despite its relatively short runtime, it does drag though. Alright, so it's a 90-minute film, I think. I don't think it was on for much longer. I don't know, I didn't really think it dragged that much, but you know, this is why we do these videos, to get two different opinions. What I will admit to is that I watched this film. I know it might have sounded a bit absurd to people, but I watched it 3 times in a row for the sake of this, because I stuck it on the one night, fell asleep with maybe about 20 minutes to go. So I then stuck it on the second night, but sort of skipped through to where I was and watched the end. And then on the third night, then I watched it all in one big go again, just to piece it all together. So you know, I feel like I'm well vetted with this movie now after that couple of days of viewing it hard. And yeah, you know, you should watch it if you're a modern holiday fan, because it is Fulci. It does form part of the Gates of Hell trilogy, and you know, similar to like Dario Argento horror films, they're there for you to check out. You know, they're just awesome in my opinion. So this is a summary now then of Trev's feelings. So I watched my Blue Underground 4K, there we are, and so he did watch the same one as me, on my big screen for the first time. I think the image 4 times that of my 50-inch TV helped me enjoy it more. So yeah, that's like the bloody the cinema effect, innit? Like sometimes you can go to the cinema and watch a crap film, but you don't realise it's a crap film until you watch it again on home video, because you've been overwhelmed with the trip to the cinema, and you like tell yourself you like it, kind of thing, because you don't want to think to yourself you wasted your money, or you might have just been overwhelmed with like the sound design or something. It's happened to me a lot of times. I've seen lots of films in the cinema and then I watched them at home and thought, oh really? But then I've done it the other way around as well. So so he's watched it on a massive TV, so he's enjoyed it more. As he's already mentioned, the gore effects are good, but he finds the film disjointed. I mean, that is true. These Fulci movies, they don't make sense. I gotta be honest, House by the Cemetery is probably the linear out of the 3 of them, because City of the Living Dead and the Beyond, especially the Beyond, well, I don't even know what's going on in those movies. So you get some plot, then a death scene, some more plot, then another death scene. Okay, so the plot is loose. The plot is basically about a family that move to a New England home, and there's some spookies going on in the basement. It gets a bit disjointed though, because it doesn't play out linear at the start. You get introduced to this girl and this older woman, and you don't know if they're ghosts or if they're real, and only the boy can see them. You've got this EV thing at the start where they got a picture in their house of this home they're going to go to. It's not meant to be the home they're going to go to. It just turns out it looks the same as the picture, just to, you know, give it a bit of a freaky irony. But the kid can see a girl on the picture looking out the window, and then he shouts to the mother. When the mother looks, it's gone. So I thought that was pretty cool. Even though I think I've seen it in an episode of Jonathan Creek, but still we won't worry about that. So anyway, yeah, and it's about this family. They move to this New England home, and it turns out like this bloody psycho doctor still alive in the bloody basement, and he's been doing all these experiments on young kids and all like that. Like nothing like sexual or anything to put you off watching it, but you know, it's just mentioned that, you know, he was doing all these weird testings and whatever on people and kids, and he's like a zombie guy when you finally see him. Like he's got all the worms and the maggots coming out of his eyes and all that caper. Like it's pretty gross. Dr. Fraudstein, I think his name is. So yes, we found it. He is right though about a death being a death. Like it'll be on this family, and then all of a sudden it'll shoot to the house, like but previous to when they moved in, and it'll show a couple in there who broke in just to have sex or whatever, like, and they end up getting killed and stuff. So it does sort of flip back and forth timelines and stuff. But you've just got to turn your brain off. Well, not turn your brain off, but just like allow yourself to be sucked in by the atmosphere, and hope you enjoy it for that rather than the actual storyline. The ending is pretty good, but it's the only time you get to see what's really in the basement. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a slow burn. Most of the kills are done sort of not off camera, but you don't really know what's happening. There's still a bit of a mystery, and then the last half hour or whatever is when they venture down into the basement and find this Dr. Fraudstein. I want to say something about the end as well. I'm sorry if it spoils it for anyone, but I'm sure you people would have seen this before. But it doesn't make a lot of sense, like, because there's a little boy in it called Bob. Some people find him annoying, but if you've seen the Babadook, then this kid's an angel to the kid in that. And like he gets taken off at the end by this ghost girl to this place with all these other ghost kids, and you obviously supposed to be the victims of Dr. Fraudstein, and they've gone to this, I don't know, what's the word, like parallel bloody purgatory, where they're probably stuck in purgatory where their deaths were so horrendous they can't rest and go to heaven. But like Bob doesn't die, but he still gets taken there, so it's a bit weird. You don't know if they're ghosts or if they are real kids or what. So yeah, but it's Fulci in it. You're not going to get a full on explanation. Then Trev goes on to say, I think seeing more of it earlier on would have been scarier at the climax. So yeah, I mean, he could have given us more of it. I suppose that the deaths were there, so they could have given us more zombie action. You know, you only got to look at the cover and, you know, look at some screen grabs to know what's going to be coming. And then Trev says, I don't really like the music, and the voice dubs aren't that great as per usual with Italian horror films. The little boy doesn't sound young enough. Yes, hilarious. The little boy's voiceover, he sounds about 18 and he's supposed to be like about 8. It is hilarious, that is, I gotta be fair. And yeah, some of the dubbing wasn't the best. I thought he was like to sing at some point as well, like, because it was bloody just, you know, crappily dubbed. But you just get accustomed to that watching all these movies, so it's not something I'm gonna base my opinion on. So, I mean, ultimately, Trev's give it 6 out of 10, which is okay, because like I said, I thought he didn't like this movie, and it's growing on him, obviously. I think if this had been his first viewing, that might have been more along 4 out of 10. So it goes to show that sometimes you can watch these films and you will find an appreciation for them the more you watch them, which is what I did. I never even used to like Fulci when I was younger. Like, I remember Jonathan Ross saying he's like an absolute hack, one of the worst directors ever. And, you know, I used to watch film night with Jonathan Ross when he took over on Barry Norman and take some of the stuff he'd say as gospel and it'd become my opinion, but it was just silly, really. Like, he knows no more about films than anybody else. So Trev gives it 6 out of 10. So I'm going to give it a bit more because, like I said, I love the dreamlike aesthetic of the movie. The gore is on point, like it always is with Fulci. Shame we can't do City of the Living Dead in this one. Shame I want a video nasty because the gore in that is insane. But I'm not going to move away from the subject of this video. So I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Like, I love Fulci anyway, like I said, I love this film. Like, I've watched it a few times now, and I really dissected it the last time I watched it for this video. So, House by the Cemetary, get the Blue Underground one, get the Arrow one, whatever your poison. Like I said, this has got the Dolby Atmos, but I don't think really you've got to be a real sound nerd to kind of, you know, pay more just for that, because this will cost you about 35, when the Arrow one will probably cost you 30, and it's a bigger box. And it might have some new extras on, and it might end up in a sale. Blue Underground never have a sale, so I'll just give you one more quick look. The artwork is the same underneath. I don't know if you get a reversible. No, you don't get a reversible. Discs are really nice, though. Nice font on them. It's like a mix between like Comic Sans and Nosferatu or whatever it's called. So yeah, really happy with that. So yeah, overall a great film. Then not much more I can say about it other than Lucio Fulci's, you know, the man, and you should check out his movie. So on behalf of me and Trev, I'd like to thank you all for watching again. The next video is going to be over on Trev's channel. I'll put a link in the description. And the next one is going to be House on the Edge of the Park with, you know what, I'm going to be with David Hess, the #1 video nasty man. So yeah, that'll be on Trev's channel, like I say. First time view for me as well, so happy days. I'll catch you soon.